Alrighty, welcome. I'll wait for you guys to jump in. Alright. Okay, let's just jump up to Bitcoin here. There's a few things that I'm seeing out there actually that I'm quite enjoying the look of. Alrighty. Saying out there actually that I'm quite myself over here. Quite enjoying the look of. Sorry, I can just hear myself waffling on in the background to make sure that I'm live. Alrighty. Okay. Sorry about that. It's really weird. There's a little bit of lag onto YouTube, and when I when I start and when I'm waiting for more people to sort of jump in, I hear it just go, like I can hear myself talking to myself, and it's a real trip. Anyway. If you can hear me, can you just give me a sound check? Just type into the question box that or the chat box that you can hear me loud and clear. Just make sure that I got that all right, and then we can go from there. All right, beauty. Okay, good. Looks like you got me loud and clear. Excellent. Okay. I'll blow this back up nice and big and we'll get started. Okay, so I hope you had a good week. It's been an interesting one on the market. It's been pretty slow, really. I mean, it has been. It's been pretty quiet the last couple since the halving event, really. And we look at Bitcoin down here. This was a halving here. We've moved higher, which is what we wanted. I wanted to see it continue higher because that's where the trend is. That's where the momentum is. But it's not. It started off really well, didn't it? And then it's been consolidating. Look, the elephant in the room, so to speak, is 10,000. We got to get through 10,000. We failed to get through 10,000. We are going to see a fall. That's what I believe. As it stands, though, probability-wise, well, we've still got all that momentum to the upside. We could definitely see the market come off from here. No doubt about that at all. No doubt in my mind. But for now, it's looking more bullish than bearish. If I jump to the 4-hour here, see how we're just sort of stuck? Actually, let me jump up to the other chart because that's where I got the levels drawn in. No, I don't. That's where I thought I'd draw them in. There's a bit of resistance right there. I know it's not quite on the 10 grand mark, but you can see a little bit of resistance. Look, I'd love to see this stop being so messy and push on through. If I compare Bitcoin to Ethereum yesterday, nice move yesterday. It did follow through. And we'll look at that in a minute and just see some of the options that are available out there. But it seems to be that Bitcoin has lost a little bit of its momentum there. So it has slowed up a little bit. The alts have taken back a little bit of power over the last couple of days. I'm not sure if that's because Bitcoin's stuck around that 10,000 mark, or if it's just the market catching up a little bit. But either way, we can see across the board, across the top 10 right now, we are down, not massively, and a little bit of movement coming back now. So from Ethereum, let's keep moving through. But before I start, we're going to look at the 8-hour here. Look, a pullback into this region. Little cradle, that's what we're looking for. That'd be ideal. It's a little way off just yet. Now, the reason I've got it in my list was earlier today when we saw this movement sort of starting to push on again before we fell. There was a nice 15-hour trend sort of starting to kick in there. You can see here little cradles that have worked out well in the 15. Boom, boom, move. Another one here, little one. Now, I'm not suggesting these are trading opportunities. That one could have been as well. It's broken to the high side though. So these little cradles are working quite well. I'm going to take that out now because I don't see it as being that useful at the moment. It's a pity that candle's not in that first pullback, that clean pullback, because now I've got a potential lower high. So that's why it's come out of my list on Ethereum. I am going to be focusing more on the charts that have this daily trend in agreement. We do have this little higher low to pushing to a higher high here. Now I know it's not a major pullback, but if we look at it on the 12 here, you'll see it is quite clear. Higher low to higher high, a little bit of resistance there, but I'm not too concerned about that at the moment. Let's keep going from the 12 back to the 8. As I say, a little wee pullback in there. That's the sort of thing I'm looking for. It's not there yet. Cardano, do like the look of this chart. Let's just jump out for a second. Go back to this on the daily. The reason I like Cardano is that we do have this higher low, higher high. It's pushed on the new highs within that trend, as you can see there. Now, last time we consolidated, we had a really good run. Now, that's not to support any theories that it was going to happen again. Not at all. We trade what we see, not what we think. History can be something to learn from, but it doesn't mean we are going to definitely see it again. Now, if we look here, moving averages are great on the daily. I'm going to keep backing backwards. I'm going to go backwards and backwards. So daily, halve that to the 12. Very clear higher low to higher high. Moving average is fanning. Good convergence there on our 12 hour. From 12, I'm going to just jump down to the 4. And what do we got here? Well, we've got to move higher, and it's pulled back. Now, if it doesn't get too big, that could be a goer. It's still got nearly 3 hours until that candle closes, of course. So still a wee while to go. So the 4 and the 8 are both time frames that I am considering very much so at the moment. I might even just bang on the 61.8. Now, this one here, I'm not seeing that really as a lower high. I'm seeing it just sort of stalled for a bit on a pullback. I'd be happy with that if it was to close like that right now, or the 8 hour as well, like I just mentioned. So I'll keep going. Algo perp, messy on the daily, messy on the 4. I can leave that. No interest there. Alt perp. Let's first of all start at this daily. Yes, higher, low, high. Pulling back in there. There is a trend there. Very clear on the 12 hour, obviously, as you can see there. Let's jump up now. It's the 8 that I'm going to focus on here. Oh, a bit of a bother. Look, we did have that pullback, moved higher, a bit of a bigger candle though. Then there is a bit of a clearer pullback a second time. So I'm going to leave alt perp. And the 8 hour, we can just see, look at the candles. They're a little bit messy. Don't like that for me for here for now. Atom. No, that daily is not very good. Bitcoin Cash. I suspect I'll be saying no to this. Yeah, it's not a suspect, it's a definite. Yeah, it's not clear enough or clean enough. Binance also just been pretty rubbish for ages, hasn't it? Look, it almost looks like it's getting a little bit heavy. You know, it's got to really get a move on to give us anything that's worthy really from here on out. So I'll skip past that. BSV. No, too much going on there on the average side of things. And look, in all honesty, from my point of view, there hasn't been a great deal of trading in the last week or two. It's been, the markets haven't really, because they haven't done a great deal. They haven't had a real good push on. It's been pretty quiet as far as trends go. Nothing on Doge or Dragon. Remember, I'm looking for trend first and foremost. No trend there. Ethereum Classic. There's no trend there. Exchange perp. Let's have a look here. Bit of resistance there. Not a great trend. Yeah, I can walk away from that without any issue whatsoever. Horby and Leo can leave both of those. Link. I actually didn't mind the look at this little one. It did pop higher and come off very, very quickly this morning. But let's have a look at this on the 8 hour now. No, not too keen there now either. Litecoin. All right. Some days these scans take ages because there's lots to look at. Other days, they just don't. Higher low, higher high, pulling back. 4 hours definitely in that zone. What do we got here? Bit of a bit of a level there. Not the nicest of pullbacks. It's a very deep pullback. That looks like it might be somewhere in the vicinity of the deeper than the 61.8. Yeah, it is. It's a much more deeper one. Not a huge fan of it on the 4 hour. Not to say that there won't be an opportunity for others. Don't forget that I'm not trying to make you a mini me. I'm trying to make you the best that you can be. So you might see things slightly different to the way I do, and that's okay. I'm putting it in the list. Just to zoom out a little bit. Look, it's not the worst of pullbacks. It really kind of falls into that same sort of league as I suppose Cardano. Let's just compare them quickly. Yeah, I think they're both very similar actually. It's just that Litecoin spiked a bit higher. They're not. Neither of them are I love those really clean pullbacks like this. Up, pull back, bingo. Now that's because it's sort of stalled a little bit. Does that take away from the pullback? Well, that's what I've got to ask myself. And when I look at Litecoin here, it's back to a level, doesn't look too bad. When I look at what's it called, Cardano as well, it's not quite back to that level, but again, it's a nice looking pullback into that. So a decision from you needs to be made, just the same as a decision is going to need to be made from me. What will that decision be? Well, it will depend how that candle closes. There's still quite a while to go before that actually closes. Mid cap, higher low, high pulling back, but again, that 8 hour would require me to come back a little bit later. I don't like it on the 4. Why? Pull back there, then it pushed higher, then it pulled back again. OKB is very sideways, not one that I'm, really interested in whatsoever, to be fair. Shipper, let's have a look up here. Too spiky, I can't talk. When it's cycling through like this, that's what I like, to capture this sort of movement. Right now, look at these candles. They're spiky, they're all over the place. Shitperp doesn't look like it knows what it's doing, and that's because it's an index created of the other altcoins, and they're not really moving much either. So until that starts to carry through, it's almost a novelty contract in the sense that it gives me another opportunity to trade, but the rest of the market needs to be moving in either direction for that to occur. And because there's not a lot of momentum being carried through right now, and don't forget it can change very, very quickly. There's not a lot of momentum carrying through right now. So for that reason, it's not one that's going to jump on the list. Tron as well, nothing there. XRP. No, it's pretty ugly there as well. Not much has happened with XRP for quite a while. Oh, Tezos. Okay, let's have a look at this. Well, this one's done us pretty well so far the last couple of months from back here. Higher low, higher high. Daily's back into an uptrend. 2-day checking that. There's that pullback and move away. Okay, that sort of fits what we're after. Oh, weekly bullish candle breaking the high as well. Cool. Looks good. Looks good. All right, so coming all the way back down. Let's look at this 4 hour. High, higher low, higher high. Pretty deep pullback. That's my only concern. Now, there's no rule around the depth of the pullback. It's just something you get your eye in after a while. That doesn't mean it's not going to work out, by the way. To the 8 from the 4 to the 8. Moving averages are in the correct order across the entire board, really. So I've got that in. I'm going to leave it in. Any flat levels possibly? I don't think so. No, because it's been a quick seesaw bounce. Ooh, privacy, higher time frame, and being the daily does have that pullback. You can see it clearly here. Look at this on the 12. Up, pull back, push on. Bit of resistance kicking around at the top there though. But let's have a look at this 4. I don't like this one. Does look a little less clear to me. It is more of a lower high. No, I can happily leave that one. And we're back to Bitcoin already. All right, so let's crunch this down and see what we've actually got in this list. And don't forget this, right? Going through and doing a scan like this, it's important to understand that some days are going to be slower than others. It has been a couple of weeks whereby we haven't seen really strong trends. And when we see really strong trends, don't forget that because we're looking at this perp list as being, all against the perpetual contract or the USD contract, right? They're all likely to move in the same direction or very similar. When you've got so many charts that look like this, I'll just pick any random one. Look, do we have great trends through here? Do we have great trend? No. Do we have great trend? No. Do we have great trend? No. We don't have a lot of really great trends. Now, the second that this market does kick on, bam, we're going to have a lot of great trends. It's not there yet. At the moment, that's why we've got such a small watch list. At the moment, there's nothing of interest there for me on Bitcoin. Maybe if we got a bit more of a breakout level up there. Cardano is definitely one I will keep an eye on. It's got some way to go. Of course, 2 hours and 45 minutes. Still beautiful pullback into that cradle. Good convergence on the 4, across to the 8. Multiple time frame agreement of trend, moving averages, and the MACD. Nothing in the way of a 1-to-1, and plus on the daily as well here, it has broken out to a new higher high here. Now it's pretty flat to average or a little divergent on that daily, but it's not too concerning because I am looking at this on the 4 hour. Very similar type scenario here on Litecoin, except for with Litecoin, we haven't pushed out to new higher highs in that trend. There is a nice looking higher low here on this 12 hour pushing up, so it doesn't look terrible. It's just not quite as it doesn't have that additional bonus that we've really cleared the highs. But both of them are very tidy, very close. This one here on Litecoin back into an old level of resistance. A little bit of a deep pullback on both of them, but both to be considered. And then finally Tezos, another one. That candle's starting to get a little bit too big right now. So it might come down to Cardano and Litecoin at the minute. But don't forget, right? The chart should make the decision for you. You shouldn't need to think. You tick the boxes, all right? Tick the boxes. If they fit the rules, you can then take that trade. And by the way, as I always do, remind you, in the description in this video below, if you've not got your FTX trading account, use the link below and you'll get 10% off your trading fees. But more importantly, start trading with FTX if you haven't already, and watch the video. There's a video down there that shows you how to raise orders with the FTX platform and how to manage your risk, which is of course a very important aspect of your trading. Does anyone have any questions while I'm here? Because it was a relatively quick scam. Again, like I say, it's just simply because there's not a great deal out there as far as really good trends at the moment. There's always a little bit of a lag, so I'll wait. Doesn't look like any of you legends have any questions. Hey, look, that's fine. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications for these so you know when they're coming, and the watch list videos. Did one last night. We'll get another one out. Hopefully, you know, when the markets get a little bit more follow through, a little more carry on. Bitcoin sitting around that 10 grand mark. We've got to get through it. It's got to fall. I just don't know when. It's not my choice. It's not my decision. I'm waiting for that level. I think if we can get through that 10,000, you know, I think we will see a lot more opportunity come, and we might see a very good run. But for the time being, it's you know, battle stations ready, and patience is required for this moment in time. Guys, you have a great day. Have a great week. Oh, question. Have you placed any trade in the last few days yourself? I have got stopped out a few times. Just wondering if I'm over trading at the moment. But it's highly likely that you may be. For me, I took a trade this morning with a half risk on that one I showed you on, what was it? Link. And yes, I got stopped out nearly as fast as I got put in. So I'm not taking a lot of trades mainly because, like I say, you know, we don't have those multiple time frames in agreement. We've got a lot of charts that are not in really clear trends. You know, like these are still very messy. Look at that. Lots of these charts look like that, and they don't represent good value for me at the moment until they start to move. Until they start to move, it's caution for me, for sure. So there's a possibility that you are over trading. It is ranging a lot, Will, you're right. Can you use a 15-minute chart as a trigger? Absolutely you can. Yes, you can, certainly. It will mean bigger positions. But yeah, you know, this strategy that you've got, or any of the three strategies that I teach, you can trade them whether it be bullish market, bearish market, or the lower time frames. What you've got to remember though is you've always got to make sure that you keep active on those rules. So you've got to have good chart structure. You've got to have smooth flowing trends. There's a number of things that you must have. If you, for example, were to look at the 15-minute down here, see how it's all sort of looks funky? See these little spots over here? That's a whole 15 minutes where really nothing happened. So for me, this would not be something I'd want to trade 15 minutes on. What would I trade 15 minutes on? Probably more, oops, mouse is a bit sticky. Where am I? Here. Bitcoin, because look, it does have nice cyclicity. It looks fine. I mean, you've got to get the good trend going, right? But it looks fine. Ethereum also has very good volume. XRP, I mean, I typically stay within that top 10 when I'm looking at intraday trading those lower time frames. It's just, for me, I love to trade them. Don't get me wrong. It's just if you get a little bit of slippage on the way in or the way out, it can end up being quite costly. So you want to be trading, if you're going to trade those lower time frames, the much more liquid markets out there, and be just, you know, even maybe back the risk off a tad, so you can get used to it a little bit more. I hope that helps. All right, doesn't look like there's any more questions there. No dramas at all. I am going to jump off this internet because my daughter has jazz dancing now. Yay. Have a great day. And yeah, subscribe, turn your notifications on, and share this stuff, guys. It's free content showing you how to trade. Come on, it's epic. Let's get going. Share it around, and I'll speak to you again this time next week. Cheers, guys. Bye for now.